So we
Welcome back.
continue here. um, could you say more about the origin of Jyotish? Like in the
See,
Vedas or
you see, I have no authority to say how old are the Vedas. We cannot exactly say that because descriptions are very mystic. They have been probably coming out of the mouth of Brahma. So who am I to say how when it happened? So, anyways, like whether you believe in this or not. Now, some people may call some source of information as mere mythology, and I'm not going to accept it. But some people may believe in some sources which are described as mythology. So there are different kinds of opinions. But anyways, why do we call it Vedic astrology now? And how is it different from the Western astrology?
yes, very important.
So the Vedic astrology, if I like to describe it just as Sanatan Jyotish, but anyway, if I say Vedic astrology, now I must tell you, in astrology, the different ancient texts have been compiled by the great sages, the rishis, or the great sages who were divine human beings, like almost half god. They played a big role in giving us the knowledge of Jyotish, describing how it works, and how we are supposed to use it in our life. So, some of those texts are still available, some may not be available. There are some quotations that are available from very ancient books. So, at least according to some Oriental historians, like the Parashari Hora, Vrihat Parashari Hora, which is one of the big authorities, and let's say Jaimini Upadesha Sutram, they are around 5,000 years old. So some European historians, including my very good friends, they may differ with this opinion. They may think it is not so old, but I don't want to go into those arguments because I'm not a historian of astrology.
Yeah, okay.
But anyways, in the Vedas, in Rig Veda and Yajur Veda, there are definitely some shlokas, some hymns which are connected to Jyotish, descriptions about the nakshatras, the deities of the nakshatras, and then there are of course some descriptions on when some astronomical calculations, which has been called Siddhanta Jyotish. And how do you calculate and how do you come to the decision which are the right times for doing the special spiritual austerities, the spiritual fire rituals and yagyas, homas, japas, chantings, all these things. So the right times for doing all these very important spiritual activities were determined on the basis of astrology. So about these, how to calculate these things, which is called Muhurta Jyotish, how to calculate these things. There are some descriptions, not a lot of shlokas, but there are some descriptions in Rig Veda and Yajur Veda. And of course, there is a book called Vedanga Jyotish, which is probably compiled by the sage Lagadha. So there is a book called
Lagada.
Lagatha.
Lagada.
Yes,
Lagada.
Lagatha. Probably he compiled it when he was in the northern part of India around Kashmir. So anyways, like there he kind of compiled what I mentioned in the different Vedas, the astrological hymns.
Okay.
So it's an interesting book, but it hardly has anything on predictive astrology. So for a predictive astrologer, it may not be useful to make better predictions, but just for the sake of knowledge, it will help you to see what the Vedas exactly say about Jyotish. So, but we can definitely say that the rishis, the great sages who have played a role in compiling the Vedas, they played those same sages played an equal important role in compiling Jyotish, the vital Jyotish texts, and of course there are six angas or parts of Vedas. It is described Shikha, Kalpa, Vyakaran, Nirukta, Chanda, and Jyotish. So the Jyotish is supposed to be the eye. Jyotish is supposed to be the eye.
The
So
eyes of
are the eyes of the
the
Vedas.
Vedas.
So what it means? It means to understand Vedas, you need to have a knowledge of Jyotish. If you,
as
yes,
of the other
yeah,
Vedantas.
yeah, yes,
They are like outside branches.
yes, yes,
First, you have to know those Vedantas
yes,
so
yes,
that you understand the Vedas.
then so that you understand the Vedas. So see, right now we have very few really like people who know the Vedas properly. Even I don't know because I have more studied the astrological texts.
But I also don't know how big these are
Yes, yes.
in texts. But
Yeah,
I
yes,
hear Pandits
yes,
learning only part of a Veda
yes, yes.
and they excel in it for many years.
Yes, but reading is something, and after reading, remembering is something
And
else.
they learn it by heart
They try to
and they
learn it
learn
by
it
heart.
to chant it. Not
Yes,
only
yes,
to
yes.
understand, but they chant it
Yes,
in a
yes,
special
yes,
way
yes,
with these rhythms
yes,
given
yes,
from the
yes,
Vedangas.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
there is the grammar there in the
Yes, all
Vedangas.
these are the angas. All
The
these are different
yeah.
angas.
Anga means
Or this is anga means basically body parts.
part.
We have parts. Anga means part,
Yeah.
without which you cannot act normally.
So they are helping you.
Yes. So you can understand that Jyotish is given a lot of respect. In Western astrology, of course, it is also very important, but there are some astronomical differences. But the main thing why Jyotish is given a lot of respect in many parts of the world, all parts of the world, that is, Jyotish speaks a lot about solving your problems. So it is not only making
Yes.
predictions or looking deeply into your faults and your positives, but how you can take yourself out of a big soup in a very difficult situation, how do you survive in that situation, or what you should do to make sure that the problem doesn't come in such a big way.
If you see it
It was, yes,
beforehand.
yes, yes. So these are called the upayas or upacharas or pariharas. So so these are basically like the ways. So these are like medicine.
Yeah.
Like Ayurveda has not only they are not only telling about your diseases, but they are giving you some ways how to heal them,
Remedy. How
remedies.
to
So
heal.
this is remedial astrology. So this is described in a very detailed manner in different texts of Vedic astrology, and we will talk about remedies in a detailed way. Definitely, we will do that later. But I must say that this is one of the parts of Vedic astrology which is unique.
That
And
is
if you learn Vedic
different.
astrology, you can help your clients, your friends, even yourself, your family members in many ways. The predictions can be made through other styles of astrology also. But of course, Vedic astrology helps you to divide your consultation into two parts. One is the predictions, one you can do some psychological counseling. But in the end, when the person says, "What can I do? Tell
The
me
rest of
something."
that.
So how can I find a way out of
Yeah.
this? Or okay, you are saying that I can be good in business, but can you tell me like if I can do it
How?
really good, how and
Yes.
like what I should do so that I can do it quickly. I can do it quickly and
Is
I
it
can
good
achieve more.
to fasten?
Like
Or
what you do with that, it is more important. Even if you fasten it, I don't see anything wrong. But
but then
provided,
the karma is like more intense.
yes, but provided you do it in the right way and
You take
you
responsibility
take
for what you
responsibility what you
experience.
do, and when you achieve something, when you, like I'm telling it especially for Vaishyas and Kshatriyas, so like if you achieve something, how you use it, how you are supposed to use what you have achieved, the wealth, the power, whatever, how you use it. Do you use
The
it for the
motivation
welfare?
and
And
usage.
how you use it.
How
So I
you
don't
apply.
see anything wrong in
Okay.
doing anything fast or anything. But if you earn a lot of money fast and then you donate a lot of money for preaching spirituality, for printing books, it is
Okay.
fine.
That
Then
is
God is
fine.
even happier with you.
Just for all of us to be aware that if we make something faster, then the intensity of experience increases, and we have to be ready for
You have
that.
to be ready for
That's
that.
it.
You have to be responsible for that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, there is a big difference between the zodiacs in the Vedic system and in the Western system.
Let's say it is said that one is tropical, one
Yes.
is sidereal. What does
Yes, yes,
that
yes.
mean?
Sidereal means based on fixed stars. based on fixed stars.
Okay.
So basically, for example,
Jyotish is
Aries,
sidereal.
Jyotish is sidereal based on fixed stars. We are receiving energy from fixed stars, and those fixed stars has a role to play in determining the character of the zodiac signs or the rashis. For example, Mesha, Aries. Now, I will come to zodiac signs later,
Yeah,
of course,
very
but many people you
detailed.
know there are zodiac signs. Okay,
And
so what are these?
maybe in the next video.
Yeah, so these are groups of stars, and they are made with some specific groups of stars which will not change. In Western system, it can change. It is connected to seasons.
Okay.
So one is connected to stars, one is connected to seasons.
So in next
That's it.
video, I would ask you to explain
Explain
a little
it,
more about
detailed, yes.
sidereal and tropical.
Yes,
the
I will do
difference.
it. I will do it. Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to us.